Hey y'all, so I need your help. And then we have Landon. Now, Landon was gifted to me, and I love this sweet expression. Very peaceful, very solemn, and a newborn size. Now, Landon was sculpted by Vincent Vidal, and I am ready to see all of them, really. But I'm really ready to see this one. But see what I mean? See what I mean? I don't know what to do. And then Ellie, oh my goodness, y'all. Look at that profile. This is a chunky little baby, like maybe around 9 months old. Oh, she's so sweet. She's so sweet. And that's why it's so hard, but I've narrowed it down to 3 kits. So if you can help me narrow it down to 1, that would be great. So let me know in the comments. So Chardon A, Landon B, and Ellie C. And Ellie was sculpted by, I cannot pronounce the last name, unfortunately, but the first name is Irina, but I don't know if you can see that or not. And I only, of course, paint authentic kits because I want to support other artists too. So with that being said, guys, I cannot wait to see what you have to say, and I'll see you in the comments. Thanks. Welcome to new friends, and hello again to my existing friends here. Let's begin by adding Genesis Ultramarine Blue mixed with Gamsol in no particular ratio, just as a wash. Any jars used today will be in a wash consistency, and that just means there is much more solvent than pigment, and solvent being the Gamsol and pigment being the Genesis Ultramarine Blue. And it's going to be just enough to leave a tint of the blue onto the vinyl with every brush stroke or dab of the modeling sponge, which is what I'm using here. In the previous videos of this Paint With Me series, we've added the depth layers, and now we are working towards the overall complexion of Johanna, which is the name of the kit that we're working on, and it is produced by Bountiful Baby. So at this point, she has received multiple layers of blue, red, purple, and yellow. And right now, this blue wash is being added to tone down the oranges tinge of the complexion. And I want you to notice, I am only adding the blue to the shaded areas, as the general undertone has already been achieved through the previous layers. And this particular clip is here for you to see where we're headed in today's video, but I will be only painting one arm, just to clearly demonstrate how I choose a certain color and how each layer helps to build the color. And keep in mind that off camera, layers are also added, and you'll be given those instructions when necessary. But stay tuned, because in a very short while, we'll be getting to the arm. I want you to notice the birthmark that I placed onto Johanna's left side of her face. Mom has a birthmark on her face, and she requested that this kit also has one, and I laid down the foundation with gray that we used in the previous video, and I will be adding to that with the darker colors that kind of lean towards blue. So more of the ultramarine blue, of course, the vein blue, and even the eyelid purple. In my experience, I've learned that blue is a very good color for depth and dimension, and variations of blue, like I said, with the eyelet purple and the vein blue, all help to stack, if you will, on top of one another, and they work well together to give me the exact color that I'm looking for. But I started with the grayish blue to just lay down the foundation and to outline the birthmark. And I also use my hand, not really a sponge, to pounce around it because I don't want it to appear too intentional. I want it to look as though there is an imperfection. So in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and direct our attention to the limbs that are, of course, not quite where we are with the head. So we're going to work our way up to this point. And we won't reach it in this video today, but we will get there in the very next video. So we have laid down our underpainting and our depth and dimension layers. Now we are adding Lifelike yellow onto the limb so that we can warm it up to go into it. So of course, our ultimate color is brown. We want to work towards the undertone, which is what I talked about with the head. And so that's what we're doing here. We're going to be building up the undertone of the skin. And you'll see me apply it with a fan brush. I'm going to pop it off with a modeling in order to create some texture. And we're going to do 3 layers of this yellow. And then we'll move on to our next. Please note that it is very important that you play around with whatever yellow, red, or blue that you want to use. The ultimate goal is to use the brown. And if that means you're not using the regular yellow by Genesis, the regular red by Genesis, or the ultimate blue by Genesis, it's okay. I just find it a lot easier to achieve the color that I'm going for with African American skin tone when I'm using a darker yellow versus the lighter yellow. So you may say this already that I couldn't do this before. That's because from the opposite yellow color. And from yellow to brown. So that's why I'm painting with this give us a more brown shade. And eyelet purple to me is like a color that kind of camouflages or enhances more so the previous color. I've learned that eyelet purple will make crimson red better, or it'll make a brown browner. I really love eyelet purple because it's just the best color you can. And with the eyelet purple, I can do layers of it. And so we want to and we're doing this so that we can make the that will create this brown and yellow gives us the brown that we're looking for. And with the blue layers, you're going to do 3 layers of it. So let's create some veins. I am using Phthalo Blue 02, and this is by Genesis. And keep in mind, guys, that veins are like branches. They connect and they're squiggly. And on the top of the hand, I want to create a little bit more depth and make it a little bit darker, because babies, like African American babies, they tend to have darker hands, like when they're just born. And I want to create that imperfection, if you will, on the hand. I'll do that with veining, and I'll also do that with other colors and put it in that area so that it's very noticeable. But you'll see me just adding veining here, and it may not be anatomically correct, but please, if you want to be that way, make sure that you go and search up a picture on vein placement so that you can get it exactly where you want. And I choose to add the veins in this particular layer when I'm adding skin complexion is because I want to be able to see the veins but I don't want them to take over. And if I had done that during the paint before you paint or under painting stage, they would have gotten lost, and they very well may still get lost in this process, and I can bring some of those veins back in, but at least I now have an outline that I can see as I work through the layers of paint to create the brown, because in the end it's going to still appear translucent, the skin complexion will, so we'll be able to see some of it, but we can go and darken up more layers of the veins if need be with the same color. And I only do one layer of the veins unless I have to go back in and add more, which again is later. For those of you that have been following along with me since I've come back this year, thank you. But I want to note that I am just adding the blood flow like we did in the other video for Chinoa, and that is using one of the pinks on my detail palette, and you can do that as well, and that will be only 1 or 2 layers depending on what you're going for. So we're going to bring in some red to warm it back up. Sometimes you may feel like, well, I'm contradicting myself, like I just worked to get rid of the orange, but now you're going to tell me to warm it up again? Yes, I am. Because the color wheel just works that way. I mean, if you're trying to work towards achieving brown, you have to make sure that you are working up to build the brown, that you're canceling out previous tones that do not help to contribute to where you're trying to go. And it all, again, comes with much practice and, of course, with fails. When you fail, you learn from that, which is what I've done. And so I am adding this red after I've added the blood flow with the pink to enhance more blood flow onto the skin, and of course to also help to achieve the overall skin tone of brown, because we know red, yellow, and blue makes brown. And for this layer at this point, I've only added 2 layers of this red, and the reason why I did 2 is because I don't want the red to take over and create a red undertone, but I want enough red to where it helps to contribute to, like I said, the brown complexion. I hope that you have a few takeaways from today and that you are having fun painting and exploring and getting to know the color wheel a little bit better if you are not quite as familiar with it. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope to see you in one of my other videos, but especially in the comments today so that I can hear what you guys have to say about which kit I should go with. Cannot wait to hear your input. So I'll see you guys in the comments. Have a great day and be blessed.